beyond the pandemic, the human adaptation.
Ever since the pandemic, we are starting to see a way to restore health, economies, and societies together despite the new coronavirus strain. In the face of global crisis, we need to improvise, adapt, and overcome. The new normal is still emerging, so I think that our immediate focus should be to tackle the complex problems that have emerged from the pandemic by highlighting resilience, recovery, and reconstructing the new 3 Rs. What is adaptability and why do we need it? According to Laurie Ward, a licensed professional counselor based in Denville, NJ, adaptability is the ability to be creative and flexible in the face of new situations. Most of us have a tendency to shut down in the face of new things, she says. But change, according to her, is like a rip current. If you swim against it, you'll never reach the shore. She advised people to ride change like a wave. If you're in a fall, a rise will follow.
The COVID-19 pandemic is transforming human relationships with nature at multiple levels and across a wide range of contexts. New knowledge is needed to understand the impacts of the global pandemic, given its broad spatial and temporal extent and the social distancing measures used to contain on a broad level. People across the world have noted that the pandemic may have resulted in positive environmental externalities such as reduced air pollution, further with altered mobility partners and limited opportunities for other forms of socializability.
This COVID-19 has helped us learn a plethora of new things and has given us plenty of newer learnings and perspectives of life. The positive impacts of COVID-19 are never being spoken anywhere. The news channel looks gloomy with negative stuffs. Yes, COVID-19 pandemic has brought the whole world on standstill, with employees losing their jobs to businesses slowing down with its momentum.
Nang magka-pandemic, medyo mina ang negosyo namin dito ng banana Q, banana turon. Kasi medyo ingat na ang mga tao na bumili dahil sa pandemic. Saka mahirap ngayon na wala na, mas hindi katulad noon na mabili yung gusto mga pamilinda namin. Okay lang, pero hindi katulad noon na wala pang pandemic na medyo malakas ang negosyo namin.
The virus has put everyone's life at stake. Yet, a positive approach is all it takes to run a positive life. Here's some impacts of COVID-19 pandemic that helps us to be more sensible with our perspectives in these transient times. Helps us build genuine relationships. We've all been busy living the life. Many of us have lost those real moments with loved ones. As life slowed down, we found ways to stay connected with people, even if it's virtually.
Better lifestyle changes, better hygiene. From shake hands to namaste. From covering our mouths while covering to sanitizing hands frequently and practicing social distancing, especially in public places. Being hygienic is no longer just a good habit, but the very skill we need for survival.
Innovations to stay connected and help each other. Organizations are brainstorming new ways to attract and sustain customers and employees, leading to breakthroughs and innovations.
Blue chip stocks becoming safe investments. Economists predict that you could double your money in just 2 years The dividend paying stocks tend to fall less in bear markets, even if the economy comes to a standstill. Place chips stocks are our safe bet.
A new wave of tools and software. Companies are in need of online tools and software that can help us make this shift to virtuality.
Remote working turning mainstream. Companies are getting into the culture of trusting the integrity of employees, one where there's commitment even when there's no one to look over their shoulders.
Hi, I'm Barry Asucenas, the Senior Planning Engineer of Silangan Mindanao Mining Company Incorporated, at the same time the Safety Engineer. Our location is in Barangay Timamana, Municipality of Tubod, Surigao del Norte. In this pandemic, as an employee, regular or daily doing of the COVID prevention protocols makes me confident of having a lesser chance to get infected. Iniiwasan natin palagi ang close contact, meetings in closed rooms, and keeping away from the crowd. I see to it also na merong tamang pahinga, tamang nutrisyon, and physically fit para hindi humina yung immune system natin. And being the safety engineer at site, my main duty is to ensure that the established COVID prevention protocols and precautions are well sustained, like regular disinfection to workstations, company service units, and all other common areas outside. We always remind our colleagues, at least every morning during the flag ceremony, the prevention protocols, and have them aware the COVID case status of our area. So with that, mananatili silang kalmado at may alam sa mga dapat gawin sa day-to-day na situation. So in terms of vaccination, though it's not a compulsory, but we highly encourage everyone dito sa site na magkaroon ng vaccine. And as of now, the mine site is within around 90% vaccinated yung population ng site.
So, how are you adapted amidst the pandemic? So, as a researcher, there were adjustments as to the pacing of our research. There were delays in funding, delays in the experiment whenever there are cases in the lab. So we had to be wary of the following minimum health standards. So we also learned how valuable time is. We have to be swift in doing experiments. So we have to prioritize which experiments are essential and what experiments are not. Because we don't know if there will be another case in the lab and then the work will be halted again. So yeah, we adapted to prioritize experiments that are really useful for the research. And how are you today? I think I am slowly adapting to the new normal. Earlier in this pandemic, I am very anxious and scared, but now those anxiety, those stresses are manageable and tolerable even.
Affordable real estate in Tier 1 cities. Businesses no longer need a fancy physical space in the city to run offices. The demand for hot places comes down, it becomes affordable to all.
Education gets digitized or affordable. Online classrooms take over institutions can then save infrastructural overhead expenditure.
When was the coronavirus disease declared a pandemic?
On December 31, 2019, who declared
novel coronavirus disease outbreak as a pandemic and reiterated the call for countries to take immediate action. What are the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on mental health? Bereavement, solution loss of income and fear of triggering mental health or exacerbating existing one. What can I do to cope with the effects of COVID-19 quarantine? Sedentary behavior and low levels of physical activity can have negative effects on the health.
We have unleashed a revolution in medicine. One of the biggest lessons we've learned from COVID is that the scientific community working together can do some pretty amazing things. Breakthroughs comes after years of research.
Tulungan maprotektahan ang mga kaibigan at kapamilya na mas mataas ang posibilidad na magkaroon ng malubhang COVID-19. Linisin ang mga kamay ng madalas at takpan ng bibig at ilong kung uubo o babahing. Kung ikaw ay may sintomas tulad ng lagnat at ubo, iwasang makipagsalamuha sa mga may mas mataas na posibilidad na magkaroon ng malubhang epeksyon. Suportahan sila at kausapin sa pamamagitan ng tawag o text. Tulungan sila na bumili ng gamot, kagamitan at pagkain hindi madaling masira. Iwasan ang pagpasok sa kanilang tahanan at panatilihin ang layo ng mahigit sa 1 metro. Ipagpaliban muna ang mga pagtitipon, sa halip gawin ito online o kaya mag-usap sa telepono.
The crowds will return, but will gather carefully. Masks and sanitizers will be part of the norm for years, the way airport and transportation security measures are still in place from 9/11.
Self-care is not self-indulgence. Not only those self-care have positive outcomes for you, but it also sets an example to younger generations as something to establish and maintain for your entire life.
Our cities won't ever be the same. This is obviously a very big watershed moment in how we live, how we organize our cities and communities. There are going to be long-lasting changes. Let's take this pandemic as an opportunity to look at the positive sides of life amidst all the negativities.
Not to forget, we're a race of survivors. We're going to overcome this together. Not only ourselves,
But for our
but
future
our
generations.
generations.